Yo, yo, morning. I'm just getting a little situated here. How are we doing this morning? I honestly even might not even trade today, but I just kind of wanted to have a stream on just 'cause. Um, but other than that, um, it's an inside day today, so I'm not sure um if there'll be a huge trade. But yesterday, this was my silver bullet setup, which I've left open from yesterday, and oh man, it was beautiful. I was able to secure 40 ticks, which is pretty crazy, but it's because my risk was so large, 23, so there was my stop loss there, or take profit there, here's my stop loss, and yeah, it pretty much was like a very easy run up to take some profit here. My profit level was this level right here, which was the next level of liquidity, so um, I was pretty happy about that yesterday. Of course, we had that CPI boost, and then we also had PPI today at 8:30 a.m. this morning. And so basically, the idea here is like we had the PPI statements coming out, and that was pretty much our volatile days from yesterday and today. Tomorrow it's pretty quiet as well. But today, if we take a look at the actual activity, you'll see yesterday was like the big day, right? Big move for yesterday. Very huge candle. And then today, we're seeing sort of like very sort of calm inside candle here, right? So we would need either breakout up or down for us to like have a silver bullet trade. There's a chance I definitely might take a silver bullet as well. Just gonna tone my risk down like really low. And that's because I'm not necessarily like saying yesterday was really good condition for our edge, but today not so much. Assume the position. Assemble. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm doing yesterday's silver bullet. Cookie at the kitchen. Assemble. I get in the mood. So if you guys want to know like how I determine like what are good days to trade and what's not a good day, typically it's not only like if it's an inside day, but also I'm really looking, what I'm actually looking for is specific liquidity levels being taken. And give me one sec, I gotta give the keys to my girl. Which keys, please? Small one? Assemble. Cooking at the kitchen. Okay, so what I was saying was I'm actually looking for specific things, right? Like I'm looking for specific things or specific characteristics of the price action where it's letting me determine if today is even worth my time, right? Like is it worth even putting my money on the market? And so if this is the case, right, there's a couple things I'm actually looking for when I'm doing this little my analysis every morning where I'm looking at the previous levels of the futures, right? So Something I want to acknowledge here is that this will be the Asian range, right, from 6 to 12. So I want to find the highs and the lows um, on this right here. Okay, so real interesting, right? Because now we've seen Asian high made, we see the Asian low made. Asian low and London low has been breached, right? Multiple instances of it. Um, and also on the CPI, on CPI results, you'll notice that the London high was triggered, right? London high was triggered, and since then, of course, we made then a new low, right? So what does that mean? Like, why is that important for us to understand? Well, the reason why we avoid CPI days and the reason why I don't like these days specifically is because of these candles right here, right? This and this. And the reason is because effectively, it doesn't really matter what direction you were going to proper trade in, right? Like, if you had a bullish outlook, you probably would have been stopped out right there, considering this is like the nearest low. So you would have been stopped out. If you had a bearish outlook, you also would have been stopped out, considering, it's delivering the highest high it has during the session. So I'm not sure how you could predict that, right? And so what I'm telling you is that the CPI days, these days where they announce certain data and certain key metrics about the economy, um, like these are not very good days for us, and typically people will lose them, lose out on them. How you guys doing though? Okay, you guys take a trade yesterday? Because yesterday the silver bullet was pretty up there, right? We had the CPI results and this from 8:30 to 1 just like straight up, like only 4 hours of buying. Okay, so I guess this is like technically New York high because of the CPI, right? CPI, okay, or not CPI, what am I saying? This is New York high. I wonder if this like touched any other levels of any other lows. Like, why? I'm really curious as to why price got bought up here. And the reason why I'm curious is because I don't really necessarily see as to where price was trying to like take, you know, where price was trying to sort of like trade to acknowledge some of the liquidity. But maybe this one giant FVG is being respected, right? Right, maybe this one giant FVG is being respected. Now, what I think would be cool is if this thing actually if it actually ended up filling in this FVG, right? Oh my goodness, I just dropped my laptop.
Yeah, I'm out the way, yeah, I'm low, okay. Yeah, the island right here is remote, okay. I ain't thinking about no reaper, nigga, I'm reaping what I sow, okay. Got a Benjamin and a Jackson all in my house, like I'm Joe, okay. Hellcat, made his own boys and them types LA solo, okay. Everybody wanna be demon till they get.
I actually want to mark this day's range first.
Always a lame. Oh, you thought the money, the power of fame will make you go away. Have you ever played? Have you ever? Okay, nigga, let's play. Have you ever watch your enemy down like with a poker face? Have you ever paid 500,000 like to an open case? Well, I have, and I failed at both, but I came out straight. I hate when I
So,
rap or talk about
why I've marked this range is essentially this is also the daily range as well. So price is going to continue to essentially trade inside here. If it does, I don't know, like it looks very choppy and very not fun to trade. So considering I just like smashed 40 ticks yesterday, I'm not necessarily super interested in today's action, but I will stick around because there's nothing, you know, if this thing comes lower and lower, then there definitely is probably room for a trade, like probably room for an easy trade. I'll probably risk very little and then take my profit when I can, you know? I recommend you guys do the same today, just because if you guys don't know, if you've been trading with me, CPI days, FOMC days are not good days for us. So they're like two or 3 days out of the month, you know? I'll be back. I'm just gonna go grab some water real quick. It'll be like a minute or two.
That make gonna wanna look like a saint. This ain't been about critics, not about gimmicks, not about who the greatest. It's always been about love and hate. Now let me say I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this. If I catch flight, it's gonna be direct. We hate the bitches you fuck, cause they confuse themselves with real women. Then notice I said we, it's not just me. I'm what the culture feeling. How many more fairy tale stories about your life till we had enough? How many more black features till you finally feel that you're black enough? I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough. You gon' make a nigga bring back Puff. Let me see if Chubbs really crash something. Yeah, my first one like my last one. It's a classic, you don't have one. Let your core audience stomach that. Then tell them where you get your abs from. V12, it's a fast one. Bow, bow, bow. Last one. Headshot for the year. You better walk around like Daft Punk. Remember? Hey, top dog, who the fuck they think they playing with? Extortion my middle name as soon as you jump off of that plane, bitch. I'm allergic to the lame shit. Only you like being famous. Yachty can't give you no swag neither. I don't give a fuck about who you hanging with. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. Surprised you wanted that feature request. You know that we got some shit to address. I even hate when you say the word nigga. But that's just me, I guess. Some shit just cringeworthy. Ain't even gotta be deep, I guess. Still love when you see success. Everything with me is blessed. Keep making me dance, waving my hand, and it won't be no threat. I'm knowing they call you the boy, but where's the man? Cause I ain't seen him yet. Matter of fact, I ain't even bleed them yet. Can I bleed them? When I see you stand by sexy red, I believe you see two bad bitches. I believe you don't like women. It's real competition. You might pop ass with them. Let's speak on percentage. Show me your splits. I'll make sure I double back with you. You assigned to a nigga that signed to a nigga that said he was signed to that nigga. Try cease and desist on a like that record. Oh, what? You ain't like that record? Back to back. I like that record. I'ma get back to that for the record. Why would I call around trying to get dirt on niggas? Y'all thinking my life is rap? That's whole shit. I got a son to raise, but I can see you don't know nothing about that. Waking them up, know nothing about that. Then tell them to pray, know nothing about that. Then giving them tools to walk through life like day by day, know nothing about that. Teaching them morals, integrity, discipline. Listen, man, you don't know nothing about that. Speaking the truth and consider what God's considering. You don't know nothing about that. Ain't 20v1, it's 1v20. If I gotta smack niggas that right with you, yeah, bring them out too. I clean them out too. Tell Bean that he better stay right with you. Am I battling ghosts or AI? Nigga feeling like Joel Austin. Funny he was in a film called AI. And my sixth sense telling me to off him. I'm a blick niggas all in they coughing. Yeah, OB-ho niggas is dick riders. Tell them run to America to imitate heritage. They can't imitate this violence. What I learned is niggas don't like the West Coast, and I'm fine with it. I'll push the line with it. Pick a nigga off one at a time with it. We can be on a 3-hour time difference. Don't speak on the family, Crody. It can get deep in the family, Crody. Talk about me and my family, Crody. Someone go bleed in your family, Crody. I be at New Hall King eating fried rice with a dip sauce and a blammy, Crody. Tell me your cheesing farm. We can do this right now on the camera, Crody. Hey, fuck y'all niggas, I don't trust y'all niggas. I wave my finger and thump y'all niggas like, Phil go punt y'all niggas, they punk y'all niggas. Nobody never took my food. Whoever that's fucking with them, fuck you niggas and fuck the industry too. If you take it there, I'm taking it further. Psst, that's something you don't wanna do. Ooh, we don't wanna hear you say nigga no more. We don't wanna hear you say nigga no more. Stop.
Yo, 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 yo. I am back. Yeah, I just want to manage your expectation today, guys. Like, I wouldn't consider this sort of a heavy day, no matter what happens to the price. Just because at the moment it's an inside day, and it will continue being the inside day for a little bit. You'll see that this green range, right? This green range I have is actually the range for the whole day, believe it or not. And so you'll see that the range is actually only from 60 or 6,071 to 688. It's not so much. Is there room to sneak in a silver bullet to take some liquidity levels? Probably. So I'll wait around for that, but you know, I'm sort of just wanted to have it as a. I mean, even if it was inside day, I kind of just wanted to stream just because I missed like two days this week. So yeah, it wasn't without reason though. I just been busy with work and all that stuff. I'm also taking off starting the 20th, and so like I just had to. I'm just like in super work mode now, wrapping all the stuff that depends on me before I leave the country. So yeah. Not forever. I'm just going on vacation and doing a little bit of traveling this Christmas and whatnot. So yeah. Okay, we actually are approaching stock market open today, so we will just oh, okay, big candle right there. But yeah, we're gonna approach market open at the moment, and so that's really it. I just want to see how volatile it gets during the market open, and maybe if there's going to be some liquidity levels being taken, and maybe there's a setup. Something I actually did forget to mention was what I'm looking for in the morning, and so as long as it's after 12, as long as some liquidity levels have been taken, like Asian high, which Asian high hasn't been taken, but London high has. So London high was taken, and on the bottom side, London low was taken, Asian low was taken. All of this happened, like we had 3 levels of liquidity taken after 12 of last night, right? And so when it comes to like the next day or the next morning, I'm expecting some movement or other levels of liquidity being determined or set. And so that's what I'm kind of expecting, and that's kind of a metric I use where I'm deciding whether I want to trade that day or not. Um, and the thing is that when there isn't, let's say there isn't any levels of liquidity being taken before or after 12, like let's say price didn't take the London high or any of these highs or lows that we've spelled out right now. If price didn't take any of them, then that would be an indication as to like you should not trade that day because there's no liquidity levels being taken. You don't really know where price is gonna go. Like, and in terms of like overall liquidity, we're sort of propped up in the middle because if we take a look at this on the hour, you'll see that there's like a major buy side right here, right? Like major buy side, right? So major buy side liquidity over here, and then we have major sell side right here. Okay, so if we see this range, right? Like we're kind of dead center in it. So that's why I don't necessarily like to, I'm not necessarily like super enthralled and super excited to trade this kind of condition here. But you know, it is what it is. I will say this liquidity level got taken. This didn't get taken here, so there's still something lower. So yeah, I mean, this thing could really come anywhere. This thing can really trade anywhere between 6,100 and 6,000, and because of that, um, you know, it's just like such a long range that it's really hard to like, have an edge or really be able to tell where price is going. As you can see, it's been very volatile as of recent. And since this number right here, it's since then like kind of rejected. Um, a lot of times where prices wanted to trade above 6,100, typically that doesn't really happen. Um, Not for long at least. Definitely has, but it just hasn't been. It's been a long time since that. Um, well, it hasn't been a long time, but what I'm saying is that those prices didn't trade above 6,100 for that long, and so that's kind of like the sweet spot where we have to actually stay above. We have to stay above 6,100 if anything is going to like trade in our favor, you know? My bad, y'all. Just hopping in a meeting real quick. Okay, damn. Things are getting a little bit volatile now. I see the candles have increased in size here, and the movement is a little bit stronger, so just want to take a look at what's really happening here.
I'm the latest phenomenon, you should be hip too. Bandwagon seats going extinct, don't give a fuck, don't judge if you home for free. Came out the mud, wink, wink, if you know what I mean. Inside jokes is only for the loneliest folks. Windpipe closed, I know that hoe, she love to get choked. Headlights can hose bucks and doors before the third, and you bleeding on the side of the road. I need to see the receipt. I need to see the receipt, I need proof, I ain't stupid for believing in dreams. First time I ate some pussy, I knew evil was sweet. First time for you to call, I'ma just let it ring. Leave me be, might as well take one for the team. Hot as hell on the block, scrambled eggs on the street. Good jeans, whole family keep their hair in their teeth. I ain't playing nigga, this ain't not the fantasy league. I'm just here to highlight my life, fuck the gas pack, NASDAQ, get the price high with the cash at. Tell the broke days bye-bye, use a meal house, use a real sap, nice guy. Finish last back of the traffic on the turnpike. I was a Xan addict like you to the last time. Now I'm expanding how I move like the sunrise in the tundra. No shape, hope you go blind. I'm just living life for a living. I just do what I'm here. I just ask God for forgiveness. Since a nigga died in the pictures, he deceased in the ride through the wilderness. Will Smith with the kill switch. I'm just getting lost in the melodies. Music for my niggas with the felonies. And fellas with some fellas who done left the scene. And strippers with asses. used to wanna be Kanye and Andre 3K, and now my homegirls wanted to be Beyonce. Can you pay my telephone? Well, shit, I was just looking for a deal. Working so hard, had to sharpen my skills. Work with my dog, still sharpen my skills. Still in apartments, still in starving. Fast forward, I'm in a building with stars, and I got a yachty car. You got stars in the ceiling. Pause for a minute. Gotta know the difference in the stars and the gimmicks. Are you really in it for the arts or the image? Do you really live it in your heart and spirit is part of all you are? And are you isn't? Trust your vision. Just alone.
Trust your vision.
And scared. But I don't even feel a thing no more. I set my goals and I'm prepared. We'll be there.
And now, a word from my ancestors.
Man, I like these new slaves.
The chain hanging, bling swinging, back breaking, but it's gleaming. Problem posture, double cup leaning, slide, slouching, tiger pimping, dragging on swagger. VVS is very vertebrae, snapping, lights flashing. A manicured appearance, concealing the shattered spirit. Jim sneering out the paradox prism. The palace as the prison. Retail religion, red carpet constriction. Freedom is the fiction. This nigga race specific. Is race really existing? Make it the bag, you tripping. Go ahead, partner, hit this, sip this. Wish list, hit list, top list, shit list, bitch list, trick list, playmate, playboy, flip side, same coin, big fun, but no joy. Yuck, oh boy, hot girls, cold hearts, tax man like the Taliban and ISIS. No relation to class of Osiris, kissing cousin to the climate. Gas prices, killer climate. Yikes, sucker mean mugging who the nicest. I promise death notice what they life is. They tap in, they tap out like a tabloid typist. They touch too tiny to the titan.
Okay, it's 10 minutes since market open. Nothing really significant has happened so far.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Some say, Lord of mercy, mercy. Yo. Microphone. Check. While I see you through my eyes, I'm still. While I see you through my eyes, I'm still. While I see you through my eyes, my still. You ain't running with the apes yet. Apex at the Empire State Neck. Ain't no crown, my niggas take that. In the state of mind, got the state facts. Suspect nigga, get your wig pushed back tonight to 1999. Who'da thought that 19 I might be in my prime? Thought of the right scheme, everything else align. Here's a penny for your thoughts, another one. Eventually the dream was bought. Now that's a real mind fuck. Might fuck up your mind if you lighten up. Make sure the tickets tighten up. If you tough, I'ma tighten like Zeus, I lighten up. Kick flows till it's kung fu fighting them. Is it him? Is it you who was nice to some? I don't see nobody, no. I don't see nobody, no. And we probably should have traded too, but I can see what I can't relate to. Hey, Jesus, will I ever get to see you through my Jesus? And we probably should have traded too, but I can see what I can't relate to. Hey, Jesus, will I ever get to see you through my Jesus? You rap niggas ain't safe, yeah. I keep the bombs in my basement. When I detonate, you can feel the vibrations. I got your mind shaking. Am I right? My life gon' spark for generations. One day my voice will be heard on every radio station. Cause fate to ratio changing in this. Every day living in this life I see that in every way they wanna see my life deceased. But I survive. The question is for how long? Since my homie died, I've been trying to hold on. The happy days of my life is now all gone. But I cope with that weed I smoking right in these songs. But it's should I stay? Should I go? Oh, should I stay? Should I go? Oh, I don't know. Lord, please let me know. And we probably should have traded too, but I can see what I can't relate to. Hey, Jesus, will I ever get to see you through my Jesus? And we probably should have traded too, but I can see what I can't relate to. Hey, Jesus, will I ever get to see you through my Jesus? Everything cool like in a state of mind, that the state of mind correct. Cool, calm, collect, deflect the corrupt with intellect. I talk too much, the jig is up, he is risen up. From a division of most kings, with they vision, position for position. It's mind splitting and soul uplifting, but still feel so trapped in the soulless. And we probably should have traded too, but I can see what I can't relate to. Hey, Jesus, will I ever get to see you through my hazels? And we probably should have traded too, but I can see what I can't relate to. Hey, Jesus, will I ever get to see you through my hazels? Will I see you through my hazels, you? Will I see you through my hazels, you? If I see you through my hazels, you? See you through my hazels, view. See you through my hazels, my hazels, my hazels, my hazels, my hazels, view. And I see you through my hazels, my hazels, my hazels, my hazels, my hazels, view.
Hey, can you come to Henry's after you're done?
Alright, for sure. I got a jam.
Target on. If a nigga follow me to the car garage, I'ma spark it up. That's a Mac with a Mac and a Tonka trunk, like my uncle's son. Got some thumping her, like a trumpet her. When it's crunking her, when it's dumping her, I'ma spark it up.
Oh, you think you better than everybody? You think you better than Bonkin, huh? You too good for the hood now. You a straight bitch.
Yeah, be the driver when I'm slumped. Be my nigga if you clutch. I ain't saying fight my battles, you ain't gotta be my crutch. Tell my mama that I love her, I don't do that shit enough. I'm a bro, wait. I'm a bro in the cut. I love the hood, you know I'm stuck. Wait. I worry about this shit tomorrow. Why the fuck you acting sus? Wait. Call me lacking in the party. Swear to God I can't sit up straight. Wait. It's something about the hood, I love it. I ain't going, no, I'm stuck. Wait. Pick me up when I get stranded and I'm trying to find a way. Still put chips up in a sandwich, cause this shit you can't escape. No, my heart can turn to rock, so I don't take that shit for granted. Shout out Pre friend the East. That little bitch had did me scandalous. You know I done been through hell, huh? I'm going through it, I can't hide it, you could tell, huh? Come home hold me down, cause I keep running from myself, Let you hold my burdens, it'll probably tip the scale. Let these niggas to the well, that just open up my floodgates. I come from the mud, we to hit me for the updates. I say free my nigga, if you know my insecurity, just keep it on the hush. If you hit me up at 2 a.m., you gotta let me fuck. Be the driver when I'm slumped, be my nigga if you clutch. I ain't saying fight my battles, you ain't gotta be my crutch. Tell my mama that I love her, I don't do that shit enough. I'm a bro, wait, I'm a bro in a cut, I love her.
So, Angel, you mentioned a question here. So you say, Angel says, yo, before Silver Bullet, did you ever trade larger time frames like 15 or 30 minutes? And so I actually didn't. Okay, so the first mistake I did was trade 15-minute. Okay, I day trade with 15-minute candles, which is fucking insane. Like that is like crazy because it means that you would only have to make a decision every 15 minutes. So like I did that first when I was learning to day trade. I day trade 15-minute candle, and that got me clapped. Like I got fucking destroyed. So I'm like, holy shit, I can't make you know, I can't make decisions off this, so I had to eventually learn that I needed to tone it down. And when I watch ICT, I noticed that he's making entries on the 1 minute. I'm like, why the fuck am I waiting 15 minutes when he's already in and out? You know what I'm saying? But before Silver Bullet, I used to be a swing trader. Like, I used to trade like Key. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Like, I always did longer time frames than 30, you know? On the 15 minute, I would plan like day trades or like intraday trades. I'll do intraday trades, or even swing trades, and I'll enter in on the 15 minutes, and I'll use the 15 minute to really make a decision. You know what I'm saying? What does intraday trade mean? It means that I'm taking a trade within the same day. Like I'm taking a trade and then I'm selling that trade in the same day. But this is like what I do is intraday trading as well, technically speaking, but the reason why I'm saying it is because when I'm saying day trading and scalping, like you guys know, you guys sometimes see I'm only in the trade for 5 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 20 minutes, you know, like very, very low time frames, right? And so because of that, that is considered something called like scalping or day trading, and then there's another term called intraday trading, which is not much different, but it's just a more general term. So like, for example, if I take a trade now and I hold it for like 4 hours, it's a day trade, right? But I wouldn't say it's a scalping or anything of that nature, because like that's a long time to hold the position, especially for a day trade. So like that's why I'm saying intraday, like inside the day I'll still close the trade, you know. So on the 15 minute, I used to like, maybe if I was trading options, I'll be like, okay, the lowest is gonna go here, I'm gonna wait till it comes low, enter, and then target this strike up here. Of course that is gonna get you destroyed, but that's what I was doing initially, you know, when I first started making a transition in terms of how, because when I was trading like Key, so I was taking trades and I was holding and swinging options, right? Like that's what he does, he swings options. So I was trading options as well, and then I didn't want to swing options because it wasn't fitting with my lifestyle, you know. I couldn't monitor the trades. He was closing the trades and I was like holding him an extra week or two or some shit like that. And the reason is because I wasn't necessarily like I can't be in front of the market the whole day. Or I can't be in front of the screen the whole day because I have to switch off. I have to go to work. I have to do other things. I have to do business stuff. And so because of that, I just want like because of that, there's like a discrepancy because I know how to trade, but I don't know how to trade for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to make it work for me. And so it took me like I would say a year and a half to actually get good at trading a new style completely and a new asset completely. And then it took me like I would say 4 to 6 months of just like I would say like it was like 4 months of just like whatever the fuck I was doing. Like I wouldn't say I was profitable or less profitable. I definitely lost money if that's what you're wondering. I lost money for like 4 months straight because I kind of like watched ICT and then I just tried to do what he did and then I like fucked up all like a lot. And then eventually like piece by piece I started putting it together myself. I started noticing things. I started paying attention to how I like to trade and stuff like that. Cause you know this thing that I do right here, these levels, ICT doesn't teach you that. You know what I'm saying? This is something that I got from ICT and from ICT traders. But he doesn't explicitly tell you that. It's just these are levels that he acknowledges for a lot of his edge, not just a silver bullet. So like the information that you do get when you're learning is like so muddled and so convoluted that eventually if you want to actually make a change in your style, you're just gonna have to accept that like you're gonna fuck up for a lot. You know? Like let's say you're a swing trader and now you're day trading, like you're not going to be able to day trade tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's also why Taylor doesn't want to switch away from day trading. I told him, I said, bro, if you want, you can just make more money in futures. Like you don't need to trade options and stuff. And he's like, yeah, but you know what? I've already spent so much time developing my edge with the options that I don't really want to necessarily stray away. And I understand why that is. Like I can feel that because I don't want to stray away from this method because I like this method way more in terms of the freedom it gives me, and I like how I can be in and out. That's the most important method for me. And the thing is, with edges, to be honest, like as I start trading, if you don't like consider time in your edge, I'm not gonna lie, I think you haven't traded long enough or you're not taking this shit seriously because the strat uses time. ICT uses time. So like time and price are super fucking important. And I think you'd be ignorant to think that every hour or every time in the market is equal because they're not. You understand how volatile market open is. You understand how market closes. So automatically like if those two moments are in the stock market are more volatile than the whole open or the whole day, then it's like if that's true and that's a fact, then why would you not consider like time as part of your edge, you know? So that's kind of what I've learned after like 3 or 4 years where I'm like, any edge that doesn't require a specific sort of time measurement in part of the edge or like, you know, because Strat uses time frames, right? Strat actually tells you to check every fucking time frame. Like, so if there's an edge that doesn't have a time frame, I try to really stay away from it, or I don't try. I try not to pay attention to it. I'm not saying it can't work. I'm not saying my edge is better, but in my personal preference, I don't want to I don't want to necessarily stray away from that time-based thing because I think time is super fucking important, and it's so important that I would not consider an edge, or I wouldn't consider a model without it, if that makes sense. And it doesn't have to be specific, but you should just know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like specific, not down to the, not only down to like the hour or the minute, but also the day, right? The time of day. Like, what day is it? You know what I'm saying? What's the calendar looking like? What's coming up? What are events? What are earnings that are coming up? So time is just a theme that you will find in not only your life, but in trading it's very, very important. Because you know yourself, like even without me teaching you anything, you know yourself that the stock market moves differently from 3 to 4 p.m. than it does from 12 to 1 p.m., right? Anyone could agree with that. Anyone that has traded the stock market for like a month could agree with that. Towards the end of the day, it gets kind of crazy, right? So there's already discrepancies in time without even me telling you, without me even you teaching an edge, right? You just have to acknowledge it. But most people don't, and I don't know why no one tells traders this. It's because I guess they just want them to lose, or maybe they don't believe it. Like they just don't believe that what I'm saying is correct. But like, I think if you're a new trader, I think one of the most important things you should teach people is about time. Like that could save you a lot of pain and a lot of destruction. You know what I'm saying? Like if I knew how important time was 2 or 3 years ago, I probably would have been like a lot richer than I am. I'm not gonna lie. But you know what? It's all part of the game because you're never gonna learn. You honestly will never learn how important these things are without like it fucking you up and you having like a distinct memory of like, holy shit, I lost a lot of money that day because I didn't know this. I'm always gonna know this now. Because the reality of it is that when you're trading, you actually learn from your losses more, which is no one really wants to hear that, but you do actually learn from losing more than you do trading and making money. And the reason is because the expectation is to make money, so you're not necessarily like doing anything different, right? When you're trading and making money, you're not doing anything different. But when you lose, that's when you start to think like, fuck, how did I really get myself in this position? Why did I enter here? Is my entry bad? Was my risk too long? Why did I stop myself out? How did I get stopped out? Was my levels bad? Like, did I not acknowledge that there's other levels I had to take advantage of? Like, what happened here? And so when you start to asking all those questions, that's actually when you make the real improvement and the real adjustment, you know? And that happened to me yesterday, like where I had the day before yesterday on Tuesday, there was like such a choppy day. I'm not sure if you were there, Angel, but like I got stopped out twice that day. You know what I'm saying? And kind of bullshit. Like I followed my steps. I got a good entry, so I wasn't even worried about the entry or the risk. I just got stopped out 2 trades in a row. So I'm like, damn, that's ass. You know what I'm saying? That's ass. So I'm like, how can I make adjustment to make sure I risk a little bit or I risk a certain amount where I can just make sure I can make up some of the losses? And that's exactly what happened the next day. I'm actually a little bit profitable off that trade. Because I risked like 10 and 12 points, so it's like 22 points, but then I risked like, I got 46 points yesterday. So I'm kind of like back where I was, but it's a learning process. Yeah. I assume people got stopped out. I feel bad for that because I took trades. If I didn't take trade, maybe no one else would take trade, but it's just the name of the game. Like, sometimes the edge don't work. I told you. I told you guys earlier on, it's not 100%. It's more like, accurately, it's more like 60 to 80%. But that's still really high. That's really high for a day trading edge, so. But you know, shit happens, and those stops will always be a humble reminder as to like, you always got to keep them stops up. You always got to plan your risk because you know what could happen, right? So yeah. Shit sucks, but you can't really take it personally. Sometimes you do everything correct and the market still doesn't go in your favor, you know? Yeah, exactly. You would have traded regardless. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the edge was there. There wasn't a discrepancy with the levels, but you know, shit just happens. Life is life. Yeah, yesterday was amazing, perfect. Like, and of course we were strengthened by CPI. Like, I'm not gonna say the price was amazing. Of course I knew why we went up all the way. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, it was honestly perfect and really easy. I didn't even look at the market. I actually just put my stop loss and profit, and I just let it run. And eventually, after like 2 hours, not 2 hours, I think it was an hour. Yeah, after an hour, like hour and some minutes, hour and like 30 minutes or so, I got an order on my phone. It told me I took profit, so I was like, hell yeah.
Said I gotta do better, I gotta do better, I gotta pick up the pieces and master the puzzle upon us. Look the man in the mirror in the eye and be honest. Slow down time, get back in line.
Yeah, I mean, some of those things can really affect your brain, stuff like that. Like, but when I'm like pretty emotional and passionate and stuff, so like when I you know, if I don't feel right that day, like, or if something happened with my dog or my girlfriend or my family or something or someone I care about, I don't even take a trade because like it's not worth making a decision off your money if you're not feeling right. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. So like even if I would say everyone that was watching here, like always take your own jurisdiction as to how you can trade. Um, and really just like don't trade because someone else is trading. You know what I'm saying? Like make sure you putting yourself and your decision making first. If it could really and be like if you're day trading, understand that like you're exposed to the market way more than everyone else. Like you are exposing new dollars to the market every day. So you just have a super high exposure to the market. So like when you're day trading, just be very, very generous with your off days. Like don't feel afraid to be taken off. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you guys know me. Like, I'm like very quick to take off. Like if I don't like the price action before like 8 or 9, I'm not looking at the fucking computer. And some days it ends up that within 30 or 40 minutes, price does actually become an outside day and there's a trade. But the thing is, guys, we want to practice abundance. So the thing is, the moment you start fiending for trades, you guys should stop yourself. Don't fiend for the trade. We have an edge that happens almost every day consistently. Like, what are we worried about? Why are we chasing the bread like that? Like, it's gonna come tomorrow anyway. It's gonna come on Friday anyway. The same shit. The same setup. So, like, what I'm telling you is that don't be afraid for those off days and just, even if there's like, if you're not feeling 100%, if you're feeling 80, then either take the day off or, like, just risk very low. That's all I can say. Because you have to also, like, take yourself seriously in the sense that, like, you know, if you're, let's say you're an athlete and you have to play some basketball, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's the case, then you're, of course, like, I know this is not really a great example because everyone has NBA contracts and they gotta play and they always play when they're sick and shit like that. But, you know, if you're trying to, like, actually perform to the best, then you want to make sure you got your good sleep. You want to make sure you're not tired. You want to make sure you're well rested. And pretty much anything that you need to do to make sure you have a clear head. As long as your mental is clear. That is the most important part. If there's anything that affects your brain, just don't let it appear in the markets, you know? Don't let it appear in your trading. I mean, it's been Silver Bullet. I didn't mention that, but yeah, it's been Silver Bullet for close to 10 minutes now. And so what is actually happening is I'm pretty much playing the waiting game right now. I just want to mark, hold on, I think my indicators are off, huh? That's weird. I think my indicators got removed. Okay. Very, very interesting. Not that you need it, but I like them on. I like to see some trends. Look at this, guys. You see this? It says personal. personal indicator, guys. That's something I'm working on. I have my code right here. So don't think I'm not don't think I'm capping when I'm saying I'm working on my indicator here. And then something's happening, by the way. Liquidity grab on the bottom here. Where's that thing? Lux Algo? Why did my indicators get removed? What the fuck? That's some bummy ass shit from TradingView, man. And they do that like once a month, I swear to god. Like they just remove, like I don't know if you guys have experience like that, but yo, they remove my shit all the time. They remove my indicators, they remove my settings. They remove almost everything. And I've been a paying customer for like 3 years. Like what the fuck? Okay, we're seeing some action here right now. Alright. Alright, gang. Do you copy? See what's going on here?
I was in West Oakland, California, when I found out about a piece of me. All this solitude around, I'm starting to see when I'm alone, the shit I think. I come from the part of town I talked about, but chalk your outline if you blink. I can't go outside today, that shine a fade, and that go along with my peace. All these energies and entities and people that just want shit from me. I can't make this up, the luxuries of being broke as fuck and escaping. Not to sound ungrateful about the blessings, but my best days are all in my past. I've been working like a slave, proud to say, now look, but I'm like bad. And then in the Zedlar, when I got a wristwatch, cop another wristband. Anytime I risk my life, clocking out a TikTok, watch it all on TikTok. I'm willing to bet it all. I'm willing to risk my life. And then in the Zedlar, when I got a wristwatch, cop another wristband. Anytime I risk my life, clocking out a TikTok, watch it all on TikTok. I'm willing to bet it all. I'm willing to risk my life.
That's a 5-minute FVG that got formed.
I was in Bronx, New York, when I decided this the type of life that I live. I made sacrifices, what the fuck you writing for? You know you do not get.
Dude, why is my trading view getting so fucked up? It's not working, bro. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, bro. It's not letting me put indicators on. It's pissing me the fuck off. Whatever. Fuck the indicators, bro. I don't need that bullshit. 1 minute right here. 1 minute candle right here. You see this? 1 minute FVG right there. I really would love to enter around here. Somewhere here. These are good. Now, only thing why this is not really that viable is because typically FVGs before areas liquidities are kind of risky because you don't really know if it's going to follow through or if it's going to bounce right back. So typically, which is kind of the waiting game, it's the patient game for us. We really just want to wait and see where these setups allow us to trade at the moment. So far, I'm actually just going to be waiting for a retracement. And yeah, that's what's going on right now. I'd like a retracement here. That would be amazing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, TradeView updated something? Okay, word. Yeah, that could be the case, bro. They've been fucking with me all week, dude. This is not the first time I've had my shit fucked with. I'm gonna do it after the stream though, cause it's since it's 10, I might miss a setup or something. There's this FVG that's gonna form right here. Okay, I think we might. There's a chance that we might see a little bit of an entry here. And FYI, it broke the daily range today, you know. So yeah, I just want to see if we get it. But the reason why I want to be patient is because I don't want to take a false entry or be inherently super duper risky just because it's still an inside day. Even though we expanded today's range, it's still an inside day, so I'm not necessarily super convinced that I should be entering right now, but you know, we'll wait.
As if I'm Christmas shopping, I got gangster niggas lining up in admissions office. Hey, possibly cause all the hoes and niggas scrape a lot of shit up on my plate. So you know a nigga late to my first class. I much rather sit up in first class. Should I admit that a slutty bitch was my first smash? Was an experience, so nah, I didn't wear it out. Always thought my first time would be someone I cared about, but being a virgin was something to be embarrassed about. I used the ass for practice, so I wasn't scared out my mind. You call them rhymes, I call it clearing out my mind. Was just a young boy staring out my blinds till I got free from my mama leash, running loose through the streets like a straight dog in heat. And we looking for some freaks. Can you play? Pardon me. What's your name? Don't mistake me for no lame. No, not me. She knew I was on the team, cause she seen how tall I be. In the club, dapping niggas. Eventually, R.I.P. Damn. You win some, you lose some, that's just how it happens. And if a nigga step up to you, then you gotta scrap him. Your name is all you got, throwing hands by the bathroom. It's funny, I barely told nobody I started rapping. Cause see, some niggas was haters that I just viewed as clowns. At 14, I knew I was the nicest dude around. I gotta make a move, I gotta do this now. If they don't know your dreams, then they can't shoot them down. Ha. Yeah, nigga. Hell yeah. Felt that one in my fucking soul, nigga. Two, yes. Yo, it's King Ghidra, combined with the forces of non-ether. Blowing woofers and tweeters, shaking syllable meters. Disasters cataclysmic, mystic natural. It's about time we hit y'all with some substances actual. I got a gift called hip-hop prophecy. Since 2003 ends the reign of the GEMC. No more roaming on this planet like scavengers. Scientists broke the code of the Gregorian calendar. Defying laws of space and time. Trying to trace my lines, hold up, respect the architect. Digital rolling, my whole crew roll with BS. Type to master this whole universe in 3 steps.
Alright, I took the entry here. Let's see.
Minds blown by the millions just for the feeling. Hip hop, it just don't stop until I make a killing. Now I'm kidding, but for real, the world ain't the same no more. Take your life to next level or remain no more. Take your life to next level or remain no more. Word out, word out. Well, I'm colliding with the mind of a survivor, surviving, uncover the time, brother. The high volume, wide column.
Yeah, so this candle right here, this kind of already got closed. I probably should have already closed out here, but the reason why this risk is not one to take is because this is near a liquidity level. This FVG formed liquidity level. So that's what I was saying where uh, um I'll still hold the trade, but I'm sort of preparing expecting a loss here just because of how these candles acted here. Um yeah, okay, I'm out. So basically what's happened here is you really want to actually take the upside here because this was a liquidity grab in itself. So what need to happen is we need to be more patient. So something I want to acknowledge here is I kind of already spelled it out, but I took the trade anyway because I was like, fuck it, you know. I made like 40 some ticks yesterday. I'm cool if I lose like 10 ticks, you know. But basically what happened here is okay, I'll explain it. So whenever you see, let's say this is a New York low, right? This is a New York low. So yeah, I do set up a stop order during the trade. Yeah, I take my profit and stop. So like effectively I entered and then I got stopped out pretty much like a minute later. But what I want to acknowledge is this is something that is not necessarily taught by ICT or anyone, but this is just my own my experience and what I've learned. Like when you have an FVG that forms, like we were downtrending, right? So when you have an FVG forms right below or right near a liquidity level like this one, so like this is the liquidity level and then it's right below it. Typically what happens is price will just like you never want to take this one because price has a high likelihood of reversing. And that's really what happened because essentially what is being signaled that this is a liquidity grab and liquidity has happened and now we might go see some upside where we might grab this, we might grab this, and we might grab this. And so if you wanted to protect yourself, of course you can put your stop loss here, which would have been like a little over 10 ticks here. But my point is that it's just something. I'm just trying to acknowledge that when you don't get this or my point is that you want to effectively get an FVG that is away, that has enough space from any liquidity. And so because this didn't have enough space from this lower level of liquidity, then it became a high likelihood to kind of get filled. And that's why I noticed before I entered the trade, I was like, you know, this thing could probably just reverse on me, so I'm just going to keep that stop loss where I had to. And you know, lo and behold, it kind of reversed on me within a minute. Now that's something I didn't call out, but now we're going to see it go for upside, and go for another upside. And to be honest, I should have been a little bit more responsible in not taking that trade. I sort of spelled it out, but the way I have my order structured now, I just risk a certain amount and then I have my stops automatically filtered in. So like if I risk 10, if I want to risk 10 ticks, then I'm automatically going to fill profit at 20 ticks. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, unfortunately I immediately got stopped out. I won't take another trade today, just because I'm not necessarily interested in trading, and I'll tell you why. So I got stopped out at 1. I think that's going to be my limit for the day. And the reason is because look at the daily. Look at the daily range. Like, we only expanded the bottom of the range, and now we might go see the upside as well. But what I'm saying is that even if we see upside, this thing is still going to be an inside day. And tomorrow, there's a chance that it might be an inside day as well, if this expands. So, like, yeah, it's not really super high conditions for me. It's probably the reason as to why I got stopped out within 1 minute. But yeah, now we're going to see definitely this upside be taken and definitely maybe this one as well. And you'll see that there's an FVG that got formed actually on top of my previous one, right? So here's an FVG, a very, very large one. There is a point where you could have gotten an entry on it, and now your risk can hit 2.0 right here, which is actually above, which is actually going to be targeting the next level of liquidity, which is like right here. you know, I would say it would happen, but this was very hard entry as well, where you're kind of coming back into the daily range. So this fell out, right? This fell out of the range, and now we're coming back in. And so if we take a look at the range, the current range here is up top where this green line is. So the odds are the range is going to expand now, right? Where we have this, and then we have this. And my fault here was I was just way too hasty. And what I should have done is just acknowledge that the liquidity level first, and then we could have gotten the upside entry here. Now, is there an upside on the 5 minute? Not quite. Actually, it's in this, which is crazy. This is actually the upside FVG is actually in the same place as the 5 minute, which is so crazy, actually. Wow. It's exactly like that. So here is your 5 minute entry. Your risk is here. Your entry is here, but you only had 1 minute for your entry technically, which is this candle. So yeah, I think that'll be it for today, guys. I'm not necessarily interested in this price action. I'm probably just gonna wait till tomorrow. Maybe we'll have an outside day, but I shouldn't have. I just wanted to stream and connect and see what's good with everybody. But yeah, it's super duper inside day today, as you can see. But yeah, I'll probably, yeah, and yeah, I'll probably just leave it at that, guys. I wish, unfortunately, this week has been like very not productive on stream. I wish I streamed yesterday, but I just wasn't near my desktop, which is like where I got my stream set up at. I just traded off my laptop while I was in the office, and I ended up smashing the tick. So maybe tomorrow we'll have a more concrete setup. But yeah, I think rookie mistake by me. But I sort of saw this coming here. Even before I entered, I was just like, yo, I could definitely get stopped out for sure. That's why I entered with a stop loss even before I took the position. Like I had a stop loss order filled. So yeah. All right. Well, I'll leave it at that, guys. We'll probably pick it back tomorrow up for sure. But I hope tomorrow is more of an outside day. Yep. What's going on, Angel?
Cigarettes on cigarettes, my mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my hoodies, all my homies think it stink. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I miss my cocoa butter kisses.
Are you okay? Do I recommend me software to buy crypto? I mean, I use Phantom Wallet. Or so what I do is, I have wallets, right? So what I do is I buy off a brokerage. And yeah, so that's the thing, bro. Like, I'm the wrong person to ask because I live in New York, bro. So I don't have options to actually buy that much crypto because in New York and Washington are the only states in the United States that have like crypto regulations, and so I'm not allowed to buy on like anything but like 2 or 3 brokerages, and so Coinbase is one of them. So I just use Coinbase. So what I do is I buy crypto, and then I transfer it to a wallet, and then I hold it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, unfortunately, because of where I am located, I don't necessarily use any other brokerage. So I'm not really the best person to ask for that. But I will say what I do is I'm only allowed to purchase a couple cryptos in New York. So what I do is I purchase primarily like Ethereum and Bitcoin, and then I'll transfer it to a wallet, and then I'll go exchange it. You know what I'm saying? And so when you exchange it, that is how I kind of get around like certain cryptos not being offered in my state. So like, for example, if I want to get Solana recently got on Coinbase, right? But the thing is that for me, like, I would have said I had bought Solana earlier before they actually got listed on Coinbase. So like what I did was I actually bought Ethereum to do that. I bought a bunch of Ethereum and then I transferred it into Solana. Yeah, bro. I'm sorry, bro. New York is on some hater shit. So I think if you were to take it to the chat or the Teach Trade Discord, I think other people could help you because that's just the one thing that I'm pretty limited on in New York, which fucking sucks. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing stopping me from getting a VPN, but the problem is that my cards and my payments are tied to New York as well. So they detect that I'm from New York and I should not be purchasing this crypto on my card or my credit card or my bank. So yeah, it's not necessarily it's a little bit out of my control, but yeah, but I just have I mean like I got Sol and I got something called FTM, and I had to buy Ethereum for those and I transferred it. So yeah. But alright guys, I'll leave it at that. The levels that I mentioned here and here are already sort of being acknowledged and taken, so that's pretty much the silver bullet. Yeah, New York is definitely on some hater shit. New York actually hates when you make money. It's fucking crazy. But the real silver bullet was here. I'll explain. The silver bullet was not the one I took. The silver bullet setup was right here, liquidity grab. You're waiting, you're patient on the 1 minute, and you see this FVG form. Um, you see it form right here. Your 1 minute candle ends, and then during that 1 minute candle, it touches this. That's when you were supposed to enter, and then you would have gotten traded over 2-point risk to reward ratio. Now, am I expecting anyone to get this 1 minute execution in an inside day after CPI? No, but that's literally what it is. If you're wondering if there is a silver bullet today, that's what it is. Is it extremely hard to execute? Yes. So yeah. So both of those can be true and existent at the same time. So I'll leave it at that, guys. Sorry about the shitty execution today. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be a little bit better. That was just a rookie mistake. Like I actually knew. I kind of spelled it out. What's crazy is I still took it regardless. So I think that was like the gambler in me. I'm not necessarily proud of that one. All right. Have a good one, guys.